Therefore, we are planning to conduct this full week workshop on regulatory, business, IT, FTO, technical sessions where experts will give you their tips on how to present, what are the expectations of the company. And if selected, so definitely this is a very interactive session which we will go through, and we cannot guarantee you that each one of you will be selected for the grant, but definitely because that all depends on online review comments. But however, after the session, if you are fortunately selected for the TP round, then you will certainly feel more confident and be well prepared. However, if unfortunately your application gets rejected in the online review process, please do not get disheartened, because if you listen carefully to all the sessions, I'm sure you yourself can make out the lacuna in your proposal, why it got rejected. You will be able to understand, and then you can reapply in the 19 call, which will open in 1st July, with a better revised proposal, leveraging the tips and expert suggestion which you'll get from this session. So it's always a win-win kind of situation. Please utilize this platform. Now, without much ado, I will just request our CEO, Professor Mrutyunjay Suwar of KTBI, the Director General of KTBI also, to share his expert advice and few of his experience, or I can say tips, to get this 50 lakhs of grant money, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Namrata. I think again, let me congratulate all of you being a part of this big 18th call. And so let me tell you very, very quick, because you have to really go through the whole day program. So the whole idea behind this mentoring program is that if you have interesting ideas, exciting ideas, how can you? I'll be requesting others to mute, please. I think I'll tell our host, please mute others. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Please do that.
Dear participants, kindly switch off your video, please. Mr. Prem, please switch off your video.
Request of participants, kindly switch off your video and audio as well. We do not have any bandwidth connectivity issue. Yeah, thank you so much.
So what else is, yeah, so
mute yourself. I see a lot of audio still. Yes, sir, please continue.
Again, I think Dr. Namrata?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you please continue. Huh? I've got an emergency call.
Okay, okay. So, probably Dr. Mrutyunjay Suwar has a meeting. So definitely whenever he will get time, he will pitch in and he will share his experience. I'll just upload my presentation and we can start. Just give me a second. So is my presentation visible?
Yeah, ma'am.
It's visible. So this is what I've been saying. So we are currently in this blind peer review process, and hopefully by 15th of July latest, we'll get the results, and then the people who will be selected will be presenting in front of the technical evaluation panel. So this workshop will be basically to fine-tune your proposal, to help you to understand what is that you have to put in your TP pitch deck, and what is the expectation of the committee. So now this is the presentation template have not been shared yet by BIRAC, but overall the structure remains the same. So if you wish, you can start preparing from now onwards. I'll be telling in detail point-wise what all you have to keep in each of the slides. Coming to the title slide. Now this is very important because you catch the attention of the committee with your opening remarks. You need to keep it very simple, focused, so that it becomes memorable. So what should your title slide to contain? Your title slide should contain the title of your project proposal as you had mentioned in your application form, along with the reference number, the blind reference number, which we will share you later, and the PI name, the applicant name. And please remember, if you have formed a company, if you had applied as an individual now in this process, in this timeline, you have formed a company, then also do mention your company name. And when you start, you can just tell to the committee that I had applied as an individual, but now I formed a company and my company name is such and such. Now we have seen many applicants, they're reading out the project proposal title. That sounds very boring, and believe me, it takes a lot of time. You don't need to read the title, it's already there in the presentation, but instead you need to speak in simple words what exactly is your proof of concept, like what you want to build along with the core features of your product linked to its benefit and market relevance. So try to frame a clearly written proof of concept statement highlighting the advantages, the USP. Do not spend more than 30 seconds in your title slide. Let us see some examples. So I'll be showing all random examples like case studies for each of the point to give you more clarity. Like this example, where the proof of concept is clearly stated with the core advantage, the USPs, followed by its impact, how it is going to benefit. When you say that these are the advantages that it gives, the device is very fast. In just 1 minute, you get to know the results, and from a single finger prick, you get the results, and it accurately measures a very high sensitivity, high specificity. So, and it also is very affordable. So in your first slide, the entire story is very clear. Let me, so now some applicants, they think that the novelty USP is there in my latest slides. There are slides which will be focusing on these aspects. So I'll speak when that comes. But let me tell you, the challenge here is you have total 7 minutes to present. But the committee has to sit for their whole day, and on average, they listen almost 20 ideas in 1 day. So it's very, very important to catch their attention. You may sound redundant, but you have to speak again and again the core points of your project, which you think which will give you an edge over others, so that your USP, your projects becomes memorable to the committee. So very important for you when you start preparing your pitch deck, note down the 10 points, emphasize them again and again in your presentation with confidence. That's very important. You may sound redundant, but don't worry, that's important for you. In the title itself, you talk about the problem statement, in short, and the solution. So from the very beginning, it's very clear, like exactly what you are going to develop. Sometimes I've seen that the entire presentation is over, and then at the very last, at the end, the committee understands the crux of the project, because the main points, they lie hidden somewhere in the slides, in their last slides. And believe me, if you make the committee exercise their brain, let me tell you, you are losing points. So please make sure that each of your slides are very clear, are self-explanatory, and to the point. It's also one example. So these are just random examples I'm showing you to help you to relate. Now the second slide, when you talk about the title slide is done, you jump to your problem statement or the opportunity slide. In this slide, brief background that there is a real problem which your project is addressing. Use figures or statistics to convince them that there is an unmet need. For instance, don't make the problem sound too large or over ambitious to be solved in 50 lakhs money. Remember, this is just the money is 50 lakhs and the duration is 18 months. It should not look like a lot of activities has to be done and it's a 5 years project. So that image should not come to the committee. Rather pinpoint the focus problem that you're trying to solve. For instance, if you're developing a technique to detect cancer, you should not waste time talking about how many people are suffering from cancer, showing cancer statistics. Rather, it's very important that you focus on the problem. What I mean is that you need to highlight the challenges in the currently used technique for cancer diagnosis, and what is that want to bring a change, want to bring an improve upon, which will make the cancer diagnosis or cancer detection process even better. Remember, problem in the current process, product or technique is an opportunity for you. I hope this is clear. Now coming to examples, like you highlight the disadvantages or limitations of your competitors who are solving the same problem. And then its implication on the customer. For example, if you are developing a prosthesis for amputees, you're going to discuss about the limitation of similar product, the similar prosthetic arms that are available, whether they are very costly, they are uncomfortable, they are very huge, and they doesn't come in a customized size. So emphasize on the disadvantages, the limitation of your competitors, and how they are impacting the day-to-day life of the patients. You can also include one slide on the need identification survey. Like you can say that I've spoken to so many doctors, I've spoken to a lot of stakeholders, I've visited hospitals, I've spoken to target customer population, just to highlight that the problem that you are targeting is an unmet need. You have done your homework, you have done your market survey, and you are very much confident that yes, this is a need of the hour. You show the statistics of the incidence of the problem statement, how common it is. And remember, please do not use such bright colors. It is very important for you because that will draw a lot of attention. So make use of very subtle colors. And also here, for example, here you can show the statistics of the incidence of the problem statement. Like you say that 3 to 4 persons per 1,000 people suffer from this, the shaking of hands. If you're developing a spoon for geriatric population, for Parkinson's disease. So you can emphasize that what is the target population, how common is how incidence is the problem statement is the disease, which is an opportunity for you, remember. And since affordability is an important component of any innovation, so you can draw the attention of the experts by putting the high cost of the available product. From the very from the first slide, you highlight that the products that are available in the market, as of now, they are very high cost, because remember, always customers are very sensitive to price. So basically, you have to highlight the significance of the problem statement for which you are building a solution. So here, for example, if you are developing a device which will be used in a root canal therapy, you discuss about the statistic giving how many dental caries are prevalent in India, how common is the RCT treatment. Similarly, if you are developing a certain diagnosis of which will rule out the biopsy, then you talk about the challenges of the available biopsy technologies, and be very specific. Point out what are the disadvantages. Now, since you know the USP advantages of your innovation, what I would suggest you to do the reverse engineering. Try to dig out the corresponding limitations of the existing solution of product or process, so that it becomes very easy for you to draw the comparison. And also highlight that how are the limitations of the existing product or process are impacting the patients, are impacting the doctors, are impacting the different market segments, which will be your customers. Okay. Now, so you can take 2 or 3 slides to discuss about a problem statement. Remember, there is no strict as per the slide number. All that you have to ensure that you have to complete your presentation in 8 minutes time. That is what you have to keep in mind. Now, after this is also one example. For example, you give in bullet points what are the disadvantages or limitation of the current problem statements, and how, as I said, how common, how prevalence is a disease that you're targeting. For example, if you're developing a electronic low vision aid for glaucoma patients and you discuss about how many people are suffering from this disease, and that is an opportunity for you, because these are the people who will be using your device, will be using your product. Now, after a problem statement is defined, then you would be opening your magic, that is describing your solution for the problem that you had mentioned in your problem slide. So basically, you will be talking about what is the innovation exactly, how does it work, visuals to show that how your final product or alpha prototype looks like. And please, in the image yourself, if you have CAD image, if you have a schematic representation of your product, in the diagram itself, highlight the inventive features. You have to speak strongly about the uniqueness, advantages, and economic benefits. Remember, these 3 points are very, very important. The uniqueness, advantages, and how they lead to economic benefits. Now, first coming to unique. Here you need to show the distinct difference between your invention and the prior art. Alternatives. For example, there was a prior art A, now you're developing a B, so you have to say how B is different from the A. And advantages is how these differences are creating functional improvement, which includes the advantages, superior attributes like better performance, lower cost, they are more faster, it's more user-friendly, it has more capabilities. And finally, how these advantages are translating into economic or cost benefits. Quantify, remember, please, I'm highlighting again and emphasizing again and again that quantify the benefits whenever possible. Let's say example, like in this diagram, you have to mark, if you have the image of your prototype, mark the various components. What are the various elements of your product which you have to design? And also, wherever possible, give specifications. It should be very, very easy for the experts to visualize your product. Highlight the inventive features. As I said, try to quantify as much as possible. Do not wait that I will tell about the battery specification or the sensor if they ask me, if the TP committee is going to ask me. Believe me, if you go by my experience, many times it happens that once the applicant leaves the platform, then the experts discuss that he didn't speak about that data. He didn't show how exactly this is going to work. What are the sensors? What are the camera specifications? And then you get rejected because you do not have data. So it's better you put all the information in your slide. You don't have to read out because you have only 8 minutes time, so you have to be very strict with that timeline. But you can put it in a presentation, and if the committee asks you during a question answer session, you can at least have the data, have the slides to show them. That's all I wanted here to say. See here, for example, in your proposed solution, you can also highlight, as I said, the advantages, the key features. And always try to do not make it too texty or wordy. Try to make it bullet point and specify it as much as possible. And give all the technical specifications of all the components, like what would be the speed, what is the power, how you are going to make the power supply, what is the weight, what is the cost, what is the material that you are using. All these things, all the minute specifications of your product, do not leave it to the committee that they will ask you. Keep that in your slide itself when you're talking about the solution. So your problem statement is clear, you talk about your solution, then you talk about the underpinning technology or the working principle. Here you need to explain the underpinning technology working principle of the proposed concept, and if you're developing a device, then you have to ensure that you're taking care of the safety issue, you're taking care that it is user friendly and also it is affordable. One request, please do not try to hide any technical details, which is very crucial for the panel members to understand the novelty component. Remember, it is a closed room meeting. All the panel members, they sign the non-disclosure agreement prior, so there is no chance of you losing your data. As I just said now, again, I want to repeat that I've seen multiple times that once the applicant leaves, the committee did discuss that he did not speak about many important things, for example, the formulation, the temperature, the pH, the materials that is used, whether you used animal model for clinical trials, what was the animal model that you had used, how they're going to check the sensitivity, specificity, and then if you don't have the data, they will reject the application with the reason stating that they need to reapply with more details in next call. And it's really very, very difficult for an applicant who has all the data in hand, but you cannot show. So please do not miss this chance. Do not leave any scope for your application to be rejected. Provide all the details as much as possible, but again, the important ones. You need to very bring that understanding that what are the important things that is for you to put in the presentation and what could be put in your backup slides. So basically, you have to speak about how your product works, the features, and how it is solving the need. These are the three things that you have to keep in mind when you are talking about your underpinning technology or the working principle slide. And try to give this information that how your product works, how you are going to do it, how it is exactly this problem solving the need. So all these try to keep it as a schematic representation, which should be self-explanatory. Don't make the slides too texty. So first slide was your title, second slide I'm repeating again so that you remember, second slide is your problem statement, then you talk about your solution, then you talk about how it is going to work, the working principle, then is your supporting evidence or preliminary studies. This is very important. Here you have to show how the preliminary experiments which you have done so far, the results that you have got to corroborate that the idea that you are proposing is technically feasible, is technically doable in 18 months of time. Again, only the important results you need to highlight. Do not have to just copy paste from your publication. Only give the important findings and highlight the results of it. So maximum put 3 to 4 slides, and rest of the details you can put, as I said, you can put in the backup slide, and if asked during question answer round, you can show this slide. Scope and clear. But one very important thing that you have to mention is like what stage of development the project is now. I mean that you need to clearly spell out that you have done 1, 2, 3 experiments. The results that you have got are very promising. It shows that it is technically feasible. But now to move further from stage A to stage B and to do the remaining 4, 5, 6 steps, you need the BIG funding, you need the support of BIRAC for 50 lakhs money. So that clarity has to be, that roadmap has to be very clear when you are showing preliminary studies. Because the committee should not feel that the idea is in a nascent stage. If you don't give any supporting evidence or preliminary studies, then maybe the committee would not believe your idea because it's an 18 months project. So if it seems the committee that the idea is in a very nascent stage, a lot of parameters, a lot of basic R&D project research work, studies have to be done before it comes to a level so that it becomes more product development oriented, then it is very dangerous. Similarly, the applicant, if you don't know what you have done this much of work, but you don't know what all work has to be done further. You don't have a clear roadmap as to how to proceed. That is also is not the right thing that you need to do. And it's equally dangerous if it seems that you show a lot of data and it seems that the applicant has gone beyond the proof of concept and you cannot justify what are the remaining steps that you need to do in this 50 lakhs money. So probably BIG grant is not suitable for you. Remember, I have been telling you that for BIG grant, the TRL level should not be more than 3. Otherwise, the committee will reject, saying that you have gone far beyond the big mandate and the BI should apply for other grants like SIBRI, BIPP, and they may, even though your idea is very good, even though it falls within the scope of the BIG project, but since you could not justify that what are the further work, why do you need 50 lakhs money, what are the further work that you're going to develop, that you're going to execute, if you're not able to bring that clarity, then probably they would say, they would reject, saying, suggesting your application for later entry for SIBRI and BIPP, which might not be the requirement in your case. So remember that if you have done some experiments or if you have developed the beta prototype, then it's always an advantage. People ask me that whether we should show the data or not, or we should hide it and we say that no, we started from scratch. Please don't get confused. If you have developed some experiment, developed the beta prototype, put that in the slide. Show that these are the things that we have done so far, but again, you have to be specific, like in 50 lakhs, what exactly you have to develop further. Mention in the bullet points or in the diagram of your prototype that these are the components we have developed, we have assembled. Now we have to working on this component, which is still not done, which is still remaining for the entire product to be ready for marketing. So, and we need BIG for it. BIG 50 lakhs money you cannot utilize for marketing or for branding. Remember, it's a product development, proof of concept, prototype development funding. So you have to show that what are the further, maybe in terms of refinement, maybe in terms of validation, maybe in terms of little bit of refinement and more clinical trials, more regulatory compliances that you have to do, all these things. If it's remaining, put that in your after your preliminary study slide, put that one as your current stage of your slide. Let me show you. So here, for example, in this slide, you very clearly have to highlight that what exactly is your TRL level. Remember again, if it is more than TRL level 3, if you have mentioned TRL level 4, 5, then it doesn't fall under BIG scope. At the same time, highlight what are the activities, what are the progress that you have done, and what are the, with big funding, other developments that needs to be achieved. These are the things that you have to show. If you have done a bit of pre-compliances also, ISO certification, of a little bit of these things also you have done, also emphasize that. And what are the further regulatory compliances that you need to do during this BIG funding? You need to have very clarity, and for that we have this post-noon session on regulatory compliances. Please attend it, because committee will ask you what are the regulatory compliances that you need to get done for your device to reach the market. So, and whether it falls in class 2, whether it falls in class 1, whether it's a high-risk project. So these all things they will ask you, they will want, as a PI, you need to have a very good clarity. So please attend all these sessions. Remember, all these sessions have been designed very carefully, keeping in mind the expectation of the committee, keeping in mind what is the main, things that the committee might ask you, or the common questions that the committee asks. Depending based on that, we have kept all these sessions. Now here, for example, if you have a prototype image, show in this prototype that this is what is exactly my diagram, my prototype would look like. Also here in you can highlight that this with the BIRAC fund. Basically, I would be looking into this component which is still remaining. So it's very clear that you have done the alpha prototype, your beta prototype, but a little bit of more refinement, more design iterations is needed. So one slide after your preliminary studies, after your the supporting evidence that you show, one slide should be on the current status. Then comes a team slide. Since BIRAC encourages you to apply as a team, your team slide will be given much priority. Please note that there is a flexibility to include more team members, advisors at this stage, even though you had not included them in your big application. Generally, you might be getting these questions that, after these sessions are over, you yourself will make out that many things you had missed in the application. So is it okay to put them in your slide because you are not put in the application? Please, I want to tell you that your TP presentation will be taken as a separate entity. It has no relevance with your application. Of course, you cannot propose a completely different idea, but definitely you can bring more team members, you can add more data. If you have done a bit of more studies, show those results. Even though you are not included in the application, doesn't matter. Treat your TP pitch deck as a starting point for the big application. Okay, so your team slide, your team is given very importance, and remember your team should be well-rounded with people from competing skill sets. Say for example, if you are developing a device, you need to include a biodesign engineer person, clinician in your team. A clinician is very important. If more the clinicians always are good, but don't just put in the namesake. You need to have their concerns, their concerns, their recommendations. If you have any letter of support and letter of intent from your team members, from your advisors, put them in your backup slide. Okay. So try to include also a business mentor or marketing person. If you have a regulatory, if your device needs to have a lot of regulatory compliances, then try to include also a regulatory expert and a business expert also who would help you to commercialize your product. So basically it should reflect to the committee that your team has both the technical skill as well as the business mentor to take the project forward in the right direction. And in a team slide, just put the image of the members and highlight their expertise in relation to the project, like 15 years of experience and what is that they're contributing to this project. Don't spend much time in a team slide. Don't have to read out all the names of your team members. That will just kill your time. But there itself, you can highlight, these are the clinicians, these are the biodesign engineers, these are the marketing people, these are the business mentors, these are the regulatory experts, these are IP experts. So it shows that your team is well-rounded with different skill sets. You are also suggested to include the hospital name, industry partners, logo with whom you might collaborate. Hospitals that are ready to give patient samples for trials and validation, or industries who would help you in pilot scale manufacturing. These all things you need to put in your team slide also. If your project includes fabrication, then you should have an idea of a company or person to reach out to fabrication. So different stakeholders who would be actually helping you out. So if you are also doing a bit of outsourcing, getting some third-party manufacturer, try to include their logos. Any hospital partners who would be helping you in clinical trials, put them in their logos. And if you have letter of support or any kind of commitment, please provide them in a backup slide. For example, clinical trials from hospitals, as I said, or hospitals to get the patient samples, put that in your backup slide. So you're starting from beginning, your title slide, then comes your problem slide or question slide, and you talk about the solution, you talk about the working principle, how exactly it works, then you talk about the preliminary studies, the experiments that you have done, the results that you have achieved to show that the idea is doable, but at the same time you talk about the current stage, what exactly your project is, at what stage, what work you have done, and what are the further development activities that you are proposing. Then you talk about your team slide. Team slide can be anywhere. It is not mandatory to follow the sequence. Team slide can be at the beginning or anywhere which you feel is apt. Then comes your novelty, feasibility and IP details. So here under novelty, you discuss about the uniqueness, the advantages and the superior attributes in bullet points. Performance and economic justification, like why someone will buy the product or the service. And also what portion of your product can be attributed to novelty. If your device has a lot of components, also you get it from outsource it, or you get some from imports components also, you're amalgamating it. making it into one product. Then you can show me these are the things, these are products that I will take it from the market. But this portion, this component is basically my innovation. This component is basically my novelty aspect. That clarity also you need to put that in your novelty slide. In your diagram itself, you can highlight. And if your idea is to develop a platform technology, then mention the possible applications in the field. Like my device can be used for X, but of course it also can be used as a platform technology for other applications, maybe in agriculture, maybe in wastewater management, or whether it can be integrated into existing or existing products. Whether it will be used as standalone product or it can be integrated into the existing products without much changes in the product that is being used. That also, in that way, you're also saving the cost. For example, you can talk about its wide usage. If you talk about my device is priced as this amount, but the company device is very costly. It is versatile. It is very compatible with the existing device. This component can be integrated to it. It doesn't need a specified platform to work. It's very easy, portable, and as I said, try to be very specific. Try to quantify it. Do not just say it is affordable. You have to have a cost economics. You have to have a cost calculation of it. Maybe you can say that this is what is a rough cost calculation. Whenever we go for pilot scaling, when we go for mass scaling, definitely the cost will come down. But this is what is currently I'm putting the unit cost as such. The low power. How you're bringing down the low power. And when you talk about that you're bringing down the cost, at the same time you need to have a clarity like how you are bringing down the cost. Why? What is that innovation component that you have integrated which has an impact on the cost, by which your cost is reducing? That also the committee will ask you. So please try to put that in your slides and emphasize that similar, there's no Indian manufacturer for such devices. They are already imported devices, and mine will be the first make in India kind of initiative, and they are very easy to use. They are very highly portable. So these are the competitions. Try to give pictures and then bring out, highlight the edge of your innovation as compared to the existing one. And also the value proposition. How it is benefiting to different user segments. See, if you are developing a medical device, then definitely it has to reach the masses. Then doctor should encourage it. If the doctor should use it in a clinical practice, so in addition to patients, what is the key reason for the clinicians to use? It's not only about the patients. You also need to talk about the doctors. Why are they going to use your device? How doctors, the people who will be using it, will be benefited, how the patients will be benefited. Put that, think over it and try to put that in a bullet point. Under feasibility, here you will discuss the results or the important points to highlight that the idea that you are proposing is doable. Like for instance, you can say the parameters have been optimized, the sensitivity, the specificity analysis we have done, the toxicity analysis we have done, and we have corroborated that the material that is used, they have proved they are non-toxic. It's not a problem. This doesn't fall under Biodiversity Act. The materials are very easily available, and maybe you can say that the technology that we are proposing is already a proven technology. So it's an incremental work. It's not a disruptive work. It's easy. It's doable. We have a very strong team which is well-rounded, which has expertise to execute the work. We are incubating in such an incubator, and they have the facility to get all the experiments done. Maybe you can show that the ethical clearance we have done. All these points that I'm saying, I'm just giving you examples, but this will help you to churn your brain to understand that yes, maybe sometimes what happens that I've seen that applicants, they have all things, they have all the ingredients, but they don't know what is the key masala that they have to put in your slide. That is why I'm just giving you random examples so that you are able to understand, okay, you can just correlate with your idea and then you can bring down all the important points. So all these points you can mention in a feasibility. For example, as I said, you can say that just put it in the bullet points that these are the components. These are just examples. As I said, the electronic components, they are easily available. They are very easy to manufacture. It's highly scalable, and the automation scaling up is very feasible. The design is not so complicated. The synthesis of it can be replicated, can be done in less interval time. And we have already developed the POC. POC has been validated with the 15 ICU, hospitals, and we have got a good results, good results in terms of sensitivity, specificity. But definitely, but at the same time, again, always you have to bring the clarity, like what stage you are currently now, and what is that you have to work upon. So these are the things you have to. Basically, you have to think as a 360-degree holistic approach, like to reach to the market. What are the things are required, and whether those objectives and milestones that you are proposing are feasible or not. Whether you have that bandwidth, whether you have the team, whether you have that infrastructure to execute those objectives to reach to your target. This is basically have to be emphasized in your feasibility section. So, for example, if you say that we are using the biocompatible materials, which is very safe, they are non-toxic, and we are using this material, for example, titanium, and generally they use X material, my competitors use, but I am using a material, an alloy, Y, which will add on more structural strength to it, and the product will have more strength, will have more less fragile and more strength to it. So these basically you have to highlight the advantages as well as the how easy it is for you to do it in 18 months time, because otherwise if it seems that your idea that you're proposing is a rocket science, you do not have, your team doesn't have the strength, a lot of challenges of risk factors would be involved as you move forward, then definitely the committee will also have an inhibition to support you, and maybe they'll tell you that go and build your team, do a bit of experiments, see whether those matchmaking, do kind of matchmaking, and then reapply for the big grant. So before that, if you do not want the application to be rejected, keep it around, keep these things in mind, put that in your presentation. Now, IP strategy. Patent is very important. Patent is one of the milestone or the component, yardstick for your BIG successful project. So if you have list the current patents provisional that you already filed by you with respect to your project, it could not be, don't put the patents that you have filed for any other related project. Please do not do that. Any patents if you have filed which is related to the project that you have proposed, maybe not completely, but yes, few of the development that you have already done, you have filed a patent, put that and give in detail what the innovators, who are the contributors, give the patent number also. And also at the same time, whether your project has scope for further patent filing. And that is also very important. If you have filed a patent and you don't have scope, so that might not be so lucrative for the committee. So you can say that, okay, we have filed for patent for this component, but definitely the entire, once the product is entirely developed, we can go for a design patent or product patent or process patent and do a thorough FQ analysis. So we also have a component, we also have a session on IP, and Dr. Lipika, I was saying, she's also an expert, one of the member of these TEP committees. So she can tell you very crisp to the point, like what is the common questions that the committee ask, and they themselves they do an IP search, patent search, to understand that yes, whether you have overlapping patents and whether your patent, whether your innovation that you are proposing is actually a novel component or not. So please attend, as I am repeating, please attend all the sessions very, very diligently. Now, competitive landscape analysis. Here you need to identify who are your current and potential competitors. And the strength and weakness is not only about the weakness, it's also about the strength. To understand that, to highlight what is the edge over, the differentiator of your innovation. For that, you have to be very conversant with the similar product or process that is there in the market. Remember, the committee who sits, they are the people who have years of experience in all the field. So you cannot bluff them. You cannot say that, yes, I am the first of its kind. They know in and out. So please do the homework. Do a background search. See who are the similar products. See what is the disadvantages. And then it's better that if you put their images, put their names, that these are the market players in India, in abroad also. And users of these could be my primary customers, because I'm bringing the same innovation, I'm solving the same needs that these devices are solving, but at the same time, I'm bringing more advantages in terms of affordability, in terms of user, in terms of sensitivity, in terms of the functional attributes. What I will suggest you that in a form of comparative table, you can draw the differences in attributes between your product and competitors. Like x-axis could be your competitors and y-axis could be your parameters based on which you draw the comparison, like cost, biodegradable, time could be one of the parameters, strength, as I said, could be one of the parameters, specificity, sensitivity. These all things, I'm just giving you examples. These could be different parameters based on which you draw the comparison. And always try to quantify the attributes. Just don't put random value. They might ask you to show the results. When you say that my device is more sensitivity, 5 times more sensitivity, then they will definitely ask you where are the data. When you claim something, when you say that yes, this is what my innovation is all about, you need to have very rock solid data to justify your claims. And remember, different is not usually sufficient. You need to bring out the superiority and quantify the performance, as I said, if possible. And since cost is one of the very important factor, it's not the only factor, but definitely is one very important component. So you can keep one slide about the cost variations. Like what is if there's a very striking variations, emphasize that, put that in a separate slide. And also, I have to say that in the next 5 years, what is your analysis? What is a market analysis? Like you can say that we will have the first, how you are going to grab the market, how you are going to rule the market in the next 5 years with this product. They might ask you that your innovation is easy, it's doable. So it might happen that somebody else can develop the product. How you're going to save your patent? How you're going to save your innovation? So you can save your strategy. That IP will protect. First, filing a patent is very important. So generally, people think that I'll develop a good amount of data and then go for patent filing. That should not be the case. Go for a provisional patent filing right itself. Please talk to an IP expert, and she will tell you what stage you should go for a patent filing. So you can say that any local company who's gonna develop, they will take a longer time, almost 3 to 4 years, because of the algorithm that we are trying to develop, we have developed is very robust, and it will take time for others to compete. Even if they copy our hardware device, the algorithm, the AI, the ML, the data analytics, which we have integrated, is difficult to replicate. So we are very sure that in the next 5 years, we are going to grab the market. So product differentiation. Maybe in here you have drawn out the features, you have drawn this comparative analysis, but again, in one very simple points, what are the parameters based on which you can draw a vis-a-vis comparison with your competitors and your product? For example, you require proper site selection. Lot of devices, they have to be in the hospitals. They need to be done at a targeted area. But if you are, it's a handheld device, it's a portable device, it can be done remotely. That's your USP. It can be done by anyone. Your device may not need trained people. So that also you can emphasize. If it doesn't need blood, and all the existing devices, they need blood. It's a non-invasive. That also you can highlight this. So as I said, that always when you start preparing your TP pitch deck, jot down the 10 to 15 important points and project in your slide again and again. It may sound redundant, but that's very important for the committee to understand or to make your idea memorable to them. So you can say that existing competitors, they require a lot of required to disassemble the whole unit for service, while our products come with detachable parts. It's like a plug and play kind of thing. Are these unique, the novelty components that we have bought in a product. It makes very easy, it makes very user friendly to use, and this is the thing that we are bringing a change, as of which the cost is reducing. And it can be integrated into the existing system, so if the entire system doesn't need a change, has to be manufactured. Whatever the devices that the entire system is developed, innovation or small integrated part can be integrated to the entire system. That is also an differentiation of your solution. Now, business model. Now, this is the most important slide. Here, you need to describe how you're planning to make money selling your product developed as a result of big grant. You have to give the economics of the problem solved. You may include points like what is the market relevance. If you're talking about an antioxidant package, antimicrobial packaging which has a longer shelf life, the manufacturing cost will be low, it is water resistant, it is biodegradable, and these are the important features that will attract the market that we have to show. And what also could be the different market applications that, as I said, that this is basically we are trying to use it for wastewater, but it could be used for industrial effluents, it could be used for household waste material also. So for food industries also it can be used. I'm just giving you an example. So different applications of your product also could be provided in your business model. So basically you can say that, right, as of now we are targeting this need area, but definitely this could be used as a platform technology, and as we move forward, maybe in the next 3 to 4 years, we will also be targeting this problem statement, also this need area. And what is the market size, statistical data? That is also, please provide all these data in your business slide. What will be sold? Is the innovation a standalone product or could be segregated into different components which could be commercialized as different entities? And what is the cost of each of the entities? Like, I'm developing this device, this cost of the device would be X, but if they would go for only for the Y, or these are the components which might require more usage, and then this could be used, or this YZ will come into ABC price. So these cost analysis is very important. And also describe your sales strategy, whether it would be B2B or B2C. Cost economics, remember customers are very sensitive price, so cost estimation of a product is required. You need to calculate the manufacturing cost, the selling price per piece. Of course, you can see that as the number of samples increases, the cost price would significantly reduce. So as I said, this is a snapshot of your market segmentation. You can see that where your device could be useful. It could be useful to hospitals, it could be useful to academics, for patients, what are the different patients, disease area which could be, your device could be placed into. The revenue model, as I said, if you want to go for a rental model, if you want to go for a subscription model, have a cost estimation of it. Okay, because subscription based also now people, because of the cost, to make it more affordable to reach the masses, you can also go for a subscription based. Then, as I said, one-time investment, what should be the cost, and regarding for the consumables, what should be the cost. That cost analysis you need to execute and put that in your business model slide. At hospitals which have also shown interest for helping you to execute the work, for getting the patient trials done, and put them in your business model slides also. Now, roadmap. This is your entire product development pipeline that you need to discuss. There are various templates available. You can choose any one of them. So graphically, you basically have to divide into 3 sections. That is your pre-pick, where you say that what work you have already done, and also have to clearly state at what stage your product is now. That's a pre-BIG stage. Then comes your BIG grant duration, which is for 18 months, where you have to specify what are the objectives, what are the further activities that you're going to conduct, and at what stage or form of the product would be at the end of 18 months. That is also very clear. If you are an individual applicant, please highlight that you are currently in the process of forming a startup, and probably within a month all formalities would be completed. But in 18 months, it will be difficult to bring in your product to market. So the committee would also like to know that what are the remaining steps that is needed for you to bring your innovation to market. Here you can specify the regulatory compliances. If there are a lot of regulatory hurdles that needs to be compliances that needs to be taken care of, please put that in your roadmap strategy, so that it very clear to the committee that yes, this applicant has an understanding of the device of its innovation. Let me repeat that you have to divide your roadmap into the entire product development pipeline with 3 stages, that is pre-pick, during pick, and post-pick. So you can just given, these are the couple of examples. There are a lot of templates that are there in the Google, so you can just find out and see which one best suits your project. So you can say that okay, we have to then go for clinical trials, and also mention where the hospitals that you are going to do the clinical trials, what are the regulatory approvals that are needed, who would be the commercialization, how many patient trials. Remember, when you're going for trials, how many patient trials you'll be doing. If you're doing animal study, what are the animal study you are going to do, how many animal studies you are going to do, and how many prototypes you are going to develop in this 18 months duration, whether 10 prototypes or 20 prototypes you're going to do. That is very, very important. And since it's an AI ML driven project, then data sets is very important. Your data set should be very huge to bring that accuracy, to remove the false positive of true negatives. So this is a complete roadmap. You say, okay, in this 10 months we're going to do this, next 8 months I go for beta version, then we go for a pre-market launch, we have to go to clinical trials, and we have to safety done, we have to go to ISO certifications, all these FDA approved certifications done. Then we'll go for more follow-on funding, scaling up. We might approach for investments, private investment, or we may go for simply a BITP direct funding, and these. And then finally, at the end of 3-4 years, we will be at the revenue generating stage. So that is the complete roadmap strategy. It's not only about your BIG project, it's entire about your product development journey till it reaches the market. But in the next is your objectives and milestones slide. Objectives and milestone is basically about your BIG project. It's about your 18 months project that you're proposing. Here you have to clearly mention the core experiments that you'll be performing, would be your objectives, the experiments that you're going to perform, the results that you are envisaging to get for each of the experiment, that is your milestone. And the quantifiable, for example, let us see the examples. You say, and also give a timeline for this 18 months, divide it. Okay, these are the targets, these are the milestones, and for these milestones, I have to do these experiments. These are the objectives. So as you can say, the milestone 1, 2, 3, 4, designing a prototype, what all things you have to still do, have to do the mechanical analysis done, have to do the simulation, have to work on the electronics, PCB has to be finalized, then you have to go for the regulatory compliance certification, then report on the electrical mechanical test has to be done, then validation of the prototype, again pilot manufacturing, how many units, where are you going to do for this trials? What are the hospitals? Mention that I'll be doing the clinical validation at such hospitals, but maybe when we start the journey, we might approach more hospitals. But as of now, these are the hospitals which we are in talk, and they have agreed to help us for the clinical trials once a prototype is developed. And how many prototypes are developed? The pilot batch manufacturing assembly of 10 units. I'm going to develop 10 units or 20 units in this 50 lakhs money. Okay, so these are the things that you have to put on your milestone slide. So just example, as I said, working prototype, and then then we go for software, then we go to integration and testing it will be done at the end of it. And as I said, always specify, you don't say that development of the proof of concept, development of the final prototype. What are the units? How many devices you're going to develop? How many devices you're going to fabricate it? Where you're going to clinical trials, and how many patients you're going to do it, quantify it in your milestone slide. So there's very clear what are the key targets, what are the key activities that you are going to do in this 18 months. Now, after this, so first was your team slide, and you talk about the problem, you talk about the opportunity, then you talk about the solution, you talk about the working principles, the current stage, then you talk about the team slide, you talk about the novelty, feasibility, IP strategy, your competitive landscape, your value proposition, your differentiation, you talk about the business model slide, your commercialization roadmap, then your objectives and milestone, and that's it. You end your presentation with your objectives and milestone slide, and then just in the backup slide, you can scroll the slide. You don't have to speak on your backup slide. You don't have to discuss about it. Here in the backup slide, you have to keep your keyword, you have to talk about keep your budget, and there's a definite budget head for big brand. Like for equipments, it cannot be more than 30%. Similarly, for manpower, cannot be more than 30%, and one person cannot get more than 50,000 as fellowship from brand. Then travel should be 1.5 lakhs. Consumables also should not be more than 30%. Then incubation cost, then patent is 1.5, travel is 1.5, contingency is 1 lakh. Outsourcing, if you want to get some outsourcing done for your project, it be more than 3 to 4 lakhs for it. This is a definite budget that you have to put in the backup slide. Then the response to online review comments. Once the online review comments results are out, we will show you these were the comments received. And you, if there are any concerns, you can put that in point-wise manner, your response to it, and also try to, if any comments is doable, do it and put that in your presentation. Include those things in your high points, or maybe the experiments if the reviewers have suggested. If they're doable, do it and put that in your TV slide. And if you have received any other grant money from any other sources of funds, that's the backup slide. These are the examples. Budget, reviews, comments, you can put in a column wise. One column could be the online review comments and your response to it. That's it. I'll be happy to, if you have any questions, we can go for it. And after this, we have Muthu Sigaramsan, who is the CEO of HTIC, who is also a senior person who is a leader in incubation space, and HTIC a BIG partner, is an associate BIG partner for KTBI. So if he has joined, I would just request you, sir. Can anyone tell me that if Muthu sir has joined?
Ma'am, he is joining now.
Yeah, please give him a call so that.
Yeah,
so if you have any questions, you can just now put for 5 minutes.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
About this duration, 18 months, can it be flexible that can we finish before 18 months about this big program, or it is necessary to finish in just only in 18?
Your voice is breaking. I'm not able to hear you. Can you please repeat?
Okay, ma'am. About this BIG call, it is the duration is 18 months. Can this months be flexible? There is, can we finish earlier in this 18 months our project?
Yes. That's a good question. See, generally what I would suggest you that put in your TP presentation for 18 months. Do not be over ambitious. Do not say that, okay, we will do it in 6 months. Okay, because they cannot reduce the money. So it's better that you put it for 18 months. But if when you start your project and you are progressing in a right way, in a very speedy way, then you can request BIRAC for a foreclosure of your project. If you have achieved the objectives and milestone as what you have proposed in your application in a bridge deck, if you have achieved that, then you can request BIRAC for a foreclosure of the project and they can do that.
Okay, thank
but
you, ma'am.
as the TP presentation, I would suggest you to keep it for 18 months.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Very good morning.
I am Anuja Duklan. I have a question about the regulatory compliances, ma'am.
Yes.
If our product is in the test lab, but we don't have received the test report so far, so can we mention that we have tested our product?
Absolutely. It's all that I wanted to emphasize. They will not ask you that whether you have the regulatory compliances in place, because this is for the proof of concept development funding. But definitely the committee would like to have an understanding like whether the PI knows what are the regulatory compliances that needs to be done for his or her project. Whether it falls under which category, class B devices or class A devices with a high risk project, what is the regulatory compliances, the roadmap that is required. If you have an understanding of it, then definitely they will not ask you that you need to show all the results you need to, because that is what you are asking for money. Regulatory compliances is a very important and it needs a lot of time, it needs a lot of funds for it also. So you can say that yes, we have started this procedure, we have started this test lab, regulatory compliance is done, and maybe in a month or two we'll get the reports.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I have another question.
Yes, please.
We have our published patent, but we don't have applied for patent grant so far. Can we also mention this?
Yes, that's what I said in my patent slide. Whatever provisional patent you have filed, put that. This is my patent that we have filed, and what is the component that you had gone for patent filing. Again, at the same time, you can say what is that you will have further scope for patent filing. Okay, that I have done the provisional, I have not yet gone for a full patent filing, which I'll be doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
And what is the way, whether you're going for design patent, process patent, all these specifications has to be there in your IP slide.
I have a question. Hello. Am I audible?
Request all participants please to mute audio.
Am I audible?
Yes, please tell me.
So our, we need this, grant to develop the prototype, but we are not selling the prototype, the product, but we are selling the service from that prototype, or the product. So can we go with this? And if yes, then how we will be presenting this evidence kind of thing or experiment kind of
So
thing?
it's basically, yes, that's a good question. It's not about that whether the innovation, the PI is the person who is going to sell the product. That is not the BIRAC wants. It should, the product should be innovative, the product should be the need of the hour, and it should have market relevance. But like, it is not that the PI has to go for marketing. You may go for licensing also. You can go for tech transfer to some other stakeholders who would be interested to take it forward for business perspective. That is absolutely fine. That's absolutely BIRAC would encourage. But the product that you are trying to develop should be innovative, should have some market relevance. It should not be like a basic R&D project.
Hello. Hi, ma'am. This is Prasanna Kumar.
Yes, please tell me.
So I have a question regarding this IP. We did patent search, but we haven't filed for patent. That means we are still in the process. Like, then how do I project? Like, how do I present this situation to the team?
Yeah, you have to first, if you have done a patent search, what are the results that you have found? What are the similar patents that you have found? Put that very important ones. And highlight what is the differentiator. At the same time, you can say that is what I'm saying, that clarity has to be there. Like, what is that you can go for a patent filing? Which component, whether you are going for design patent, product, or process patent, that clarity, it need not to be that when you are applying for the TV presentation, you need to have a patent in place in your hand. But your project should have scope for patent filing. That is what I'm emphasizing. That is an advantage.
So I can show that there is patent filing in the presentation, right?
Yes. You can start in the process of filing a provisional patent. And this is what is exactly we will be filing for.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. In the original document, it was written that we will be presenting physically. Given the present situation, will it be online or will it be still physical?
It would be online. It would be completely online. And we will share you the Zoom meeting. All the team members can also join. Okay, but the PI has to present.
Okay,
if at any point of time, like there is some experts, a specific, slides, 2 or 3 slides where more on technical, where a technical expert or a clinician will be a better person to, explain, then you may request your team member to also present, a bit of your slide, but basically the entire slide has to be presented by the PI.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, Dr. Namrata. Good morning, Dr. Namrata. I'm Dr. Harnipriya from Inventors Bioenergy. I have a question regarding IP. We already have filed our complete specification and it is in the first examination report stage.
Okay.
If everything goes positively and we get the funding, or during the presentation, can we project for the PCT filing and any relevant abroad patents in that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Even if you have need trademarks, any copyright, then also we can show that.
Okay. We can project the funding for that also. Like,
yeah,
there will be any restriction that it should be spent only for Indian patent kind of thing?
No, not at all. See, the budget, as I said, IP, you cannot put within 1.5 lakhs.
I understand.
So that is what will be given.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Now, Mukul sir has joined.
So what a heady belly building.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
presentation is going well. So if you have any slides, sir, you can just put that and you can just explain or discuss a couple of key tips for all the applicants.
I'm
not able to hear you.
Dear participants, kindly mute yourself. Pranjal, please mute yourself.
Okay, Namrita, tell me.
Yeah. So, sir, if you have any slides, if you want to just
No,
share
I don't have
your
any slides.
experience
I don't have any slides. I think the better way to do this is they can ask me specific questions, how they want to do it might be better. So, but I can tell generally what to do first, and then they can ask me some questions. So during the actual presentation, only the PI can present. Others can be present and they can support, but the PI has to present the presentation. That is a requirement. The others can be there to help the PI during the question in time. One of the things which is important is address the questions. Don't have too many slides. Follow the template they give you. Spend enough time explaining your solution and the opportunity you have. They're always looking for scientific inventions. So you want to make sure you are able to deliver that extremely important, and then respond to their questions. And if you're not sure about the answer, it's fine. Don't just get upset, don't get annoyed, don't get angry, because once you do that, you actually lose it. And a lot of times during the committee meeting, the presenter gets upset and then it gets rejected because of that. So be careful, try to be as nice. Everybody understands you're under pressure, so no one is expecting you to be perfect, but do your best to do that. So I will take specific questions. I think that is more useful for you than me telling you stuff.
So we are opening for question answer round. So if you have any questions, please leverage this opportunity.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
Sir, I have a question regarding that. Should we have to mention about if we have got another grant from somewhere?
Yes, if it's for the same project, you have to disclose, because you're not supposed to get 2 grants from the government for the same thing.
Okay, you should. We should not mention this there.
No, you have to mention. Otherwise, when they find out, you'll be disqualified.
Okay.
You cannot have 2 grants. It can only be 1 grant.
Okay,
so
sir.
You have to tell. So if you already have a grant, then you have to tell them, and then they will decide whether it is the same or not.
Sir, if we have received any award from Government of India regarding this project, so
awards, they're not first. It's only grants.
okay, sir. Okay.
So for example, DBT has a seed grant. Sorry, DST. So has Startup India. So if you applied for one, you have to disclose the other. So they will decide whether they can give you the second one or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
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 Good morning, Mr. Rahul.
Yes, please.
I'm Dr. Harnipriya here. We are talking to some independent investors who are manufacturing people who can help us to manufacture the components for our product, but free of cost. So it comes as an investment as the according to them. The manufactured components come as investment from them. And we are talking to Chennai Corporation also to demonstrate our product in the dump yards. Actually, our project is on plastic recycling into useful employing microbial technology. So they are interested, and we are talking to Chennai Corporation. How do we have to project it when we present it to the committee?
When you present to the committee, you can say you have a potential partner in Chennai Corporation. They're interested in your application, and when will they be interested, and what state that they're looking at to help you.
Okay.
And it's always helpful to show there's a potential customer when you achieve your project.
Okay, okay. So after the scaling up, they will be the potential customer, or we can say that the technology demonstration will itself will be at the customer's site.
Yeah. So you can
Okay.
say they will support you with the testing part, and then they will also be able to be your pilot customer.
Okay, okay, that will be great. Okay.
And if you have a letter
These are
from
very
them, that's
important points. I just
even
want to add on what Muthu sir is saying. These are very important points. These will give an edge to your proposal. So
I
please
understand.
put that in your.
and
Sure.
then it's better not to just say it verbally. If they can give a small email, a small note saying that they will do this, they will do that.
We have already signed the NDA with them, sir.
And then you can show that as a evidence.
Sure. Okay.
You know, so that will show that.
Hello.
Yeah. So please tell me.
Good morning, Muthu sir. My name is Saurav. I am
Hi,
from Yuvox Private Limited, and we are working on recombinant DNA tech for producing dairy proteins. Now, building up on the question about funding, what has happened is we've received the Nidhi EIR grant, or it's called as Nidhi EIR stipend. So does that come under the segment where we have to disclose it?
You can tell them you've achieved that. So, and this is a follow-on grant.
Okay. Actually, it's a stipend. It's a 30,000 rupees per month stipend.
No, that will give them an indication saying somebody has found your program useful.
Okay, I understand. And I
then
have a second.
just like the Prush grant, they are allowed to apply to the big grant. It's follow-on. So similarly, you can apply for a follow-on.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. I also have a follow-up question.
So to the same question, I just want to ask you whether the EIR fellowship that you have received, was it for the same project that you proposed on the BIG grant?
Yes, it was for the same project.
Then it's an advantage for you. You can say that I've already had an EIR fellowship, and with that fellowship amount, I have done a bit of experiments. This is a rough prototype. And now, is it still continuing your EIR fellowship or it's over?
It started in May, this year, May. It's been only 1 month since it started.
But then you need to be careful because you may not be ready to be for this grant. So you need to make sure what you actually are showing.
What I would suggest you to do not show it. If you have an ongoing grant for the same project, then definitely they will tell you that it's better that you finish your EIR and then you should have applied for BIG. So it's better you don't have to reveal it. That would be my suggestion.
Okay, sure.
Oh,
and, one more question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So one more question that I had was we were about to start operations in April, and we booked the lab and everything, but the township of Manipal went into a containment zone and everything was closed. So again, it's opening in July. So our experiments and everything were pushed by 2 or 2.5 months. So is there any provision for accommodating such delays? Because right now our first experiment is about to start in July.
Say that again.
What happened was we were supposed to start our experimentations in April, and the township of Manipal, where our lab is, where we have taken the lab, went into a containment zone. Everything was shut down.
Okay.
And it's opening again in July. So we can continue our work from July. So we lost those 3 months where we could have, proceeded our experimentation and all the other progress that we had planned. Now, again, in the previous presentation, we were told that, okay, if you have some amount of work already done on this, it would be very beneficial for you. But due to completely unavoidable circumstances, we couldn't. So is there any provision for accommodating this?
No, you can easily, I mean, everybody is reasonable. You can say, yes, we've been trying to do this. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do. We will be starting again now in July when it opens again. No one will be unreasonable.
Okay. Thank you so much. These are all my questions. Thank you for answering them.
And your TP will only be, I don't think immediately, it will be another 3-4 weeks. So you can at least start it.
Yeah, sure.
Just want to add on to what Bothusa said, ki BIRAC is for all the ongoing projects. BIRAC is aware of this pandemic situation and they are allowing extension for 6 months for people who have received the BIG grant. So don't be worry about it. But in your pitch deck, don't talk about the loopholes, don't talk about the pandemic, that you're not able to do the experiments, don't do. Once you get the grant and when you get started, when your first transfer release, because that also, as Sir said, that it takes 6 months time to get your funds released in your account. So by then, if the situation has not improved, then you can, and when your first review meeting is there with the BIRAC, then you can, ask for an extension to the BIRAC. But this is not the time when you're going for the, bidding for the 50 lakhs money. You will talk about the negative things. Only talk about positive.
I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dr. Namrata, actually, in continuation with the previous question, I also had a doubt. We have been recently granted with Niti Prayas. Will it affect the BIRAC bid? And it was released in May only. The first tranche of money had been released in May only.
And it was the same project?
Of course.
I would suggest you not to put that in your slide.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because otherwise, I would say that is better. This is you've already have a funding. Let them first utilize the funds. Let them come to a level, generate some data, and then apply for next call probably for BIG.
Okay. Okay. That's it. We'll follow it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you're not speaking, please mute so it's easier for others to ask.
Hi, Muthu sir. Hi, Dr. Namrata. This is Rahul here from Answer Genomics. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, clear. Go for it.
So with the help of certain independent investors, we have developed a product and we've been able to get it out into the market as well. We are into genomic product solutions.
Okay.
So we've been able to develop one product and get that out into the market. Now, what we've applied for the BIG grant is a second product from our organization, requiring a different set of R&D for this. So the fact that we already have a product in the market and we've got independent investors on board who helped us do that, should that be something we should be disclosing about?
Is it in the same company?
It's the same organization, it's the same parent company.
Okay, it could work for you and it could go against you by saying you don't need a grant. Right? So you have to
for R&D purposes, the grant is absolutely must because...
So you have to be careful how you position it. Right? Because by showing that somebody has invested is a plus point. But at the same time, if somebody has invested, then why do we need more investment? So you need to be careful how you show it.
No, absolutely. So somebody has invested for one set of the product and that we've been able to get out. Now this is a different product and there's no investment that has come in for this one yet.
So you need to say we are capable of producing. Somebody has earlier invested, but now we need new investment because it's a new product altogether. And we don't have any funding as of now.
Sure.
See, they don't like to give if you're having from somewhere else. Because they're supposed to help those who are not having any funding. This grant is of that nature. To help you if you don't have anything.
Right.
So you need to be careful how you say. So it can be a plus, it can be a minus. So you need to share it in such a way that they believe that you've done a good job, but at the same time, we need more money.
Sounds fair.
Okay, so just be careful how you position it.
Sure, sir.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
No worries.
Are the products, just one question from my side, like, are the products connected or they're completely different?
No, so they both work on a genomic solution for different problems. One is towards nutrition, the other is specifically aimed towards athletes into sports as a segment. So it's a different product.
Different application.
Different application. It uses similar genomic data at the back end.
Exactly. So you can say that is similar with the same genomic data. We have used it for this sector. Now we want to replicate it to the different sector. And already we have got investment on board and they are very much interested in the product. So in that way you can propose. So as Muthu said, that you very carefully have to position how you're going to speak. If you're in the revenue generation stage, companies, they generally don't, push it for BIG. But at the same time, if you're doing good, if you've got some good leads, you know the business, then also that's an advantage.
Yeah, so revenue generation stage actually started for us about 15 days ago once the lockdown actually lifted. So it's very, very early days for us.
Very early. So then it's fine. It's fine. You could project it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Hi.
Sir, can we use the fund for pilot scale production?
Pilot scale?
Production of our product.
If you
can
have
we use the fund for pilot scale production?
Have you put that in your application? Have you
get you, sir?
Have you put that in your application under funding?
Yes.
So if they approve, that means yes.
Okay.
So whatever you have said there, they will look at it based on that. Plus, anyway, you have to give them another breakdown when they approve the grant.
Okay.
So they are not that bad.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. I do have a question about technology readiness level, sir. So what you have done is you have developed an real-time AI system that can detect, circulatory health. So in this case, if we say that we have done a software research and sensor research to detect, for an example, heart rate accurately and few parameters to accurately diagnose cardiac conditions like, let's say, CVD1 or CVD2, etc. But we need to conduct, further clinical research for, validating them. So would that be an attractive point, or would that drag us down? So would us help saying that we have, developed new parameters to diagnose this cardiac condition, but we have to conduct clinical research to validate it? Would that be an attractive point, or would that drag us down? So that's my question about TRL level, and how does it work for the TEP?
Usually the funding is not for clinical trials, so you need to be cautious how you present it.
Sure.
Okay, so this is not a grant for clinical trials. It's for you to come up with a product. So if you're going to use it for clinical trials, they would not approve it. So you need to be careful.
Okay, sure. So what would be a suggestion in this case, not talking particularly about...
You can say you're going to use the grant to get ready for clinical trial, but not use the fund for clinical trial.
Okay. The validation would happen post, clinical trials. Would that be a negative?
You can say by the time you finish with the grant, you'll be ready for clinical trial. That they won't have objection.
Sure.
But if you say you're going to use the money for clinical trial, they don't allow.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so just be careful how you present it.
Sure, sir. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I do have one more query about LOI. So letter of intent. As Namrata ma'am told that, it would be an attractive point to have your LOI. So we do have LOIs from, one of the big primary healthcare companies in India for a pilot launch. So, but we had conversation on phone, and we have an email, but not email directly stating about the pilot phase. So how do I present that? And that is my query. Like, even
what does the email say?
Email says we would like to work with you in future.
That's good enough. That's okay. You can say we have a partner who's willing to work with us. Print it in a PDF, image it, and put it in a PPT.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You don't have to tell what they're going to do for you. All you need to say is they've agreed to do this. This is they can't put an email in case something changes on their side, right? So all you have to show is that they have agreed to work with you. So you can say this is a person who's agreed to work with us.
So how about confidential conversations? Can we also speak about them? I mean, not the confidentiality part, but maybe we are working with the company.
You can, but generally, I can say whatever I like, right?
Yes.
So there is no evidence. So it's not that the committee is so bad, I mean, everybody will come and claim if they allow it, no?
Absolutely.
So they have to be cautious.
Sure.
Right? I mean, you can say we have talked to 5 people, if they've agreed to it, and leave it as such, and not say anything more than that.
Sure.
So that's okay. I mean, you can say we've talked to 5 people, they have verbally agreed to work with us. That the committee will be happy to accept, but don't over push it, because then they might say, "Oh, where is the evidence?" Because everybody will claim that somebody wants to buy your product, right? Or want to test your product.
Yes.
So a document is better, but if you can't get it, you don't need a very comprehensive document. All they have to say is, we are very happy with this. We would be happy to partner you to test or even promote it. That's all you need. You don't need anything in detail. What tests they're going to do, how they're going to promote, all that you don't need.
Just please remember that you have a restriction in the slides also. You have just 8 minutes to present. So you cannot just kill your slides number by putting all this letter of intent. So in one slide maximum, you put all the hospital partners, industry partners who are interested, or any investors who have very keen product. Put that in one slide maximum.
And then you can put it as add-on slides if they, during the question answer, they ask for verification.
Yeah, put that in the backup slide.
Yeah, leave it in the back. So when they say, "Oh, you said XYZ, hospital said they will do," you can say, "Yes, this is the letter," and then that question is answered and over.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you, sir.
Your presentation, they'll be very particular. It'll be 8 minutes, but their question and answer time can be anything.
Sure.
12 minutes.
Sure.
Because nobody restricts them. Even though there's a restriction in time, usually it overruns.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Ma'am, you said that industry partners, we can also talk about potential investors who have expressed interest in us, or
not much, because if you say that, okay, you have already developed and investors are ready to invest money, then they would say that why grant money? It's better that if already investors are ready. So
I mean, like, they have told us post, they have given us different stages like pilot phase, prototype phase, and anything that is post prototype, nothing that is pre prototype.
So that you can show that, okay, some investors are ready, they will be, and they are also happy to join as an advisor in the then they say that once the product is developed, then the fabric would be us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. This is Abhijit Kulkarni. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So actually, my question is regarding the funding again. So basically, the thing is like we develop continuous flow reactors. This is a developing technology in chemical industry. So we have few reactors already with which we started our business. And we have some early revenues, but the project what we have applied for big, that is a totally different product, and we are in discussion with 2 of our customers regarding the proof of concept for the same, for actual industrial process they are currently running in plant to try that on our equipment. So I wanted to know whether this is a feasible idea to state that we already have 1 or 2 products in the line with which we are generating very early revenue, and now we want funding for this project.
Okay, it's always a double-edged sword when you say you have income coming in. So you need to be cautious how you present these things. So if you already have enough income, why do you need a grant? Right?
Okay.
So you need to be careful. At the same time, showing that you have income can help you. So you need to position it in the right way.
Okay, because like until now we have not received any grant as such.
That they don't get. That's not their role. Their role is to see that you are struggling and you need a grant.
Okay.
So if they feel that you're not struggling, they'll give it to somebody else who's struggling.
Okay.
Just be careful how you present these things.
Yes, sure. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You can always email us any questions to Namrita and then we will respond. There is no problem.
I would suggest you please listen to all the sessions carefully and start preparing your presentation. Fortunately, you get selected, you'll feel more confident that you already have a rough pitch deck ready and you'll have time for refinement and fine tuning. Unfortunately, if you don't get selected, you'll have good points to revise and reapply in the 19 call, which is opening the 19.
You shouldn't worry if you get rejected because there's so many applications, they can only take so many. So they take the top 100 or whatever based on the online presentation. So don't worry about it. There's over 800 applications each time. This time I'm not sure how many, it might be close to 1,000. So they can only take so many. They can't take everybody. That doesn't mean you are no good. We have people who get it on the third or fourth attempt. So there is nothing to lose by applying.
But if as whatever points you have discussed, if you abide by those things, you highlight these features, then definitely you hold a very high chance. Because generally they don't understand, applicants don't understand what exactly they have to put in the pitch deck. They might be having a good idea, they might be having good leads, but somewhere it is missing in the presentation. So remember, it's a technical evaluation panel. So they will also talk about your technical information, technical details of your idea. Any other questions?
Okay, if nothing means we can, they can always email you.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. So my project is regarding agri-waste and turning them into some high-value products. Sir. So, but we chose one particular product, like which have a very high volume intake in the market. So, like, does the committee say that why are you choosing only this product? Why can't you go for that thing? Like, how do I defend in this scenario myself?
Meaning?
That means, why did you choose only this product? Sir, we manufacture, like, we don't manufacture, we have a technology where we can manufacture pallets from agri.
They won't ask you why you chose something over another thing unless you go and tell them. Because they won't know, right? They won't know, right?
Yeah.
Why you chose what, why you chose and why you didn't choose.
Okay.
So all of that will depend on what you tell them.
Sure.
And remember one point that I had said earlier, that whatever you're proposing should be doable in 18 months. So you cannot say that I'm going to execute all the bunch of products in this 18 months. That is also impossible for a PI. If you over ambitious, if you over claim a lot of things in this 18 months duration. So you can say that, okay, right now for this BIG project, this 18 months I'll be working, I'll be focusing on this product, but maybe these are also certain other value-added products which also could be taken up later.
Okay, sir. What we did is we manufacture, we develop a technology where we manufacture this pallets from agri waste. So to protect us from the competition, instead of patenting this technology, we developed a technology, back-end technology. This is a resin system. So this resin system binds all these agri waste and makes a pallet. So we are a bit confused in focusing, should we focus the pallet or the patented resin system? This confusion we have.
Say that again.
So what happened is initially we developed pallet. So pallet is used to lift loads in the warehouses. So and very new technology. Only like 3 companies in the world, including us, are doing that. That's a we only technology demonstration. But to protect us from the competition, we developed a resin system, that the resin which binds all these particles, and that's a patented thing. And currently, like we are having 2 products, and we are a bit confused to show which product. Like how do we present this scenario?
But which did you apply for?
So we applied for pallets only.
So why do you want to change it? If you applied for pallets, then you just talk about pallets. Don't go and change anything.
But the patent is on the resin system.
That's your patent or someone else's patent?
Our patent.
But that was the case. Why did you apply on the pallets? Is there a reason you applied on the pallets and not the patent? I mean,
applying for the pallets, we developed in this duration of time. We developed this resin system.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing which holds us back, the thing which protects us, is not the pallet design or the patent on the pallet, but this resin system will protect us.
Okay.
So we are confused,
No, my suggestion would be you talk about what you applied for. If you go and talk about what you didn't apply for, then you are asking for trouble, no?
Okay.
Anyway, before the TP, you will be getting a list of, I think, queries from. They will send some send some summary, which you can then work on according to the summary.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So that would help you. That would help you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
So if there are no more questions, then we can call it a day. I would like to thank our super mentor, Dr. Muthu, for your expertise and answering the questions of these applicants. Sir, I can tell the applicants that if you have any further queries, you can directly contact Dr. Namrata or Dr. Muthu, and they're always ready to help for the queries. Now, as there are no more sessions left before the lunch, so we can end the session for now, and I would request the applicants to kindly join in the second half. The regulatory sessions have been kept in the second half, both for the healthcare and the nutrition and agriculture. So I would request the applicants to be there in the second half.
Hello, good afternoon. Can I speak to? Hello.
Yes, sir. Please. Yes, sir. Please go on.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Namrata, Dr. Jain from Bangalore. Actually, sorry, my call got disconnected earlier, so I couldn't put my query. Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Jain.
Yeah, good afternoon. See, the thing is, I'm a clinician, and we have developed a newer device actually, and it's we needed to know when we have been using it a little bit, but there are some design changes that we have made that has actually decreases the surgery by 1. I mean, usually it requires 2 surgery. Our innovation has made the device or the procedure decrease. Okay, hope I'm clear on what I'm trying to say. So what kind of patents should we apply for when we apply for a grant like this? Is it a process patent that we apply and wait for it, or what does the team would look for when we present this case?
I'm not clear what you need. So can you tell me again slowly?
Yeah. See, we have developed a new device, which is duration. Okay, and it actually every time we use this is an established technology. Actually, we only have to tweak the design a bit, and usually we had to do 2 procedures initially. If because of our innovation, now there's only one GA procedure. There's no need of two procedures. Okay.
Okay.
So there are some design elements that we've added, and we've added a new material and other things. Okay. So what kind of patent? I mean, what does the team look for when we?
Okay. So what you do is, I think
present to them?
Namrata has a session on IP. So you can ask the
Okay.
IP expert to tell you how to do this. It would not be appropriate for me to tell you because I am not into IP.
So as of now, what Dr. Jayant is saying, it looks like a
I
design
had word
patent.
with
Yes, Dr. Jayant, what exactly you're saying, it looks like a design patent,
Yes.
but definitely you
It
have
looks like
to.
that. Yeah.
But you have to discuss with the patent experts. He or she has to understand about a project, and only they can tell you whether it could be both designed as a process patent, whether it can go for trademark, copyright. Therefore, we are keeping all these sessions, which are very, very important, you know, to bring you more clarity.
Sure.
So
No, I'm trying my best to be in all of them. Yeah. Thank you so much for organizing this.
please attend all the sessions for regulatory compliances, for patent. At least you can talk to the experts, and if you don't get time also, later on also you can email them and get all your doubts clear.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Namrata ma'am and Muthu sir, once again. And we can take it a break till 2:30, and from 2:30 we can start the next session.
Okay. Anything, please reach back. We will see how we can help you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Namrata. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Namrata, relief is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Please.
thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Have a good day.